they describe dark roast coffee as bold, when I hear bold, I want that bold taste. What does that mean? We use the word bold for nothing else. We describe no other food as bold. What else is bold? Bold is a button on Microsoft Word to make letters bigger. What is bold? What does that mean? You want it to punch you in the face? I don't understand. Someone's personality could be bold, but the word bold, it doesn't make any sense. What's going on, everyone? It's Chris from 416 Coffee, and this is the second episode of Coffee with Chris. And I have a problem that I just wanted to talk about. So, oftentimes when I'm working at the cafe, a couple will come in. It's always a couple for some reason. A couple will come in, and the woman, because she's actually intelligent, will say, "Yeah, give me whatever's good on pour over today. Whatever you think I'm gonna like, just make me that coffee." And the guy will kind of puff out his chest and extend his arms and look like this, and he'll say something stupid like, "Which one's darker? I like dark roast." And it got me to thinking, why do people think they like dark roasted coffee? Why do people like dark roasted coffee? And I started to think about it, and it's a question that plagues me often, because obviously we've been marketed to by the likes of massive American corporations and massive previously Canadian, now Brazilian corporations, that dark roast is rich and smooth and has bold flavor. And the reason being is that as a coffee roast develops, as you take that coffee through the roasting process, and as you roast it darker and darker, you start to taste less of the actual quality of the coffee and more of the roast. So that means that you could technically take an inferior coffee and roast it very dark, and take a very expensive, high quality coffee, for example, like a Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. You could take that coffee and roast it very, very dark, and now you wouldn't know the difference between the Ethiopian and, a mass-produced, pesticide-sprayed Brazil. You wouldn't know the difference. So the reason why we've all been told, or we're all marketed to consistently, that we like dark roast, is because big producers can just mass hit us with marketing messages till we're blue in the face that dark roast is rich and smooth and blah blah blah, and then they also make beverages in their stores that mask it with fats and sugars. Like the best thing in the world is when a guy comes in and he's like, "Yeah, I like coffee. I'm a big coffee guy." I'm okay, cool. That's awesome. I'm really excited. So, what do you have? Whatever's strong. That's always the most ridiculous question, because strength isn't associated with anything other than a ratio. So strength would have to be a ratio of how much coffee to water. And we're brewing most of our coffees, all of our espressos being pulled at the same ratio. Brewed coffee is all pulled at very close, very similar ratios. So strength is a relative term that makes no sense. But anyways, they'll always say, whatever's the strongest you got. I love coffee. And then they get the coffee, and they just go like Rambo with the damn sugar and cream. It's like,
me? Oh yeah, I love coffee. Big coffee guy. Yeah, you got some sugar? Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good coffee, I can tell. Yeah.
What? You don't like coffee? You like cream and sugar and some coffee, like some caffeine just lingering in the cup. Dark roasted coffee has been sold to us so that big corporations can sell us inferior quality coffee and they can keep some sort of consistency. So it's much easier to burn everything, make it all taste the same, and then sell it all to us. Then you can have a consistent experience at any store you go to. You can have a consistent experience at any grocery store you pick up the coffee from, and they can keep it pretty much always tasting the same. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that coffee should all be roasted the same way, that everything should be like super light or medium or anything like that. I believe that there's different coffees will suit different roast profiles. So the roaster's job is to experiment with multiple roast profiles and find the best one for that particular coffee, that particular crop. But what I am saying is that if your coffee has just come out of the roaster and it's already starting to push oils and it looks like charcoal, then it's burnt. dark roast, it's not French roast, it's not any other bullshit we use to sell you burnt coffee. It's burnt coffee and it's probably cheap. It's the same reason why a lot of coffee roasters get into copious amounts of blends. It's because they can just, get cheap coffee, burn it, throw it into a blend, and then throw 10% of something else to give it a slightly different taste. And then boom, they have 8 different blends that are 90% similar. And you convince yourself that you like this one over that one. I say that dark roasted coffee just makes me upset because it's causing people to drink a lot of coffee with cream and sugar and milk. And coffee can be enjoyed black. It should be enjoyed black. I stand by that. I'm sorry. Brewed coffee should be enjoyed black. You shouldn't have to put anything in it. It's the same way you don't have to put anything in good beer or good wine or any other beverage. Anything that's really good, you don't need to put sugar and fat in it. So I just think that hopefully this video sheds some light on why we've been told that dark roast coffee is this exceptional thing when dark roast coffee isn't. Dark roast coffee is a way of covering up mistakes. It's a way of covering up something that isn't as good.